In this video, I'm going to show you how to delay contractions in a breath hold and as a result, hold your breath longer. Let's get started. Visualization comes down to thinking about something and literally visualizing this and going into as much detail as possible. I used the example when I was a child. In my childhood, I had a friend who lived in my streets and we went playing to. Oh, what would happen now? Something
We had
happened.
fireworks.
Too much going on. And my dad had soldier's clothes, and because back in the days, army service was mandatory, and his dad as well. So we like to dress up as a soldier and walk through our village. And I like to think about this because I can visually remember this, and I see how we were walking through the streets. And I see how we were passing by all those houses. Like I was a street kid when I was younger, I was living outside. So I knew all these houses and I knew who was living there and the dogs, and I knew my whole village. So I go through that village again and I vividly see this like in front of me. And when you're so focused on that, you don't have time to think about anything else. You have no idea whether 1 minute passed by or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Did it take you a lot of time to find that place? Because for me, with the body scan, I can hold my breath much way longer. But when I try to visualize something, I just get very stressed. I jump from one place to another. This is not working. So I don't know if that don't
It's a
work
good
for
question.
me.
So you have to find what works for you. We're all different. And just because something works today, that doesn't mean it's going to work tomorrow. So you never know. So you always have to freestyle a little bit. It's never going to be exactly the same, or it would be boring, right? If every breath hold would be the same. So this example that I give you about my friends, that's what I use a lot. But sometimes I get a bit tired of it because I've used it so much and I'm like, am I going to do this again? Like, really? I need something else. And then I think about something else. There is a song that I sing. Well, it's just one line. And I used to sing the whole lyrics, but that was too much because my brain was just working too much to remember all these words. So I came back to the basics. It's just one line. It's just one little sentence with a couple of words. And I keep on repeating it over and over and over and over and over again until I'm tired of it, until it doesn't work anymore. So you don't have to fight these techniques either. Like if you feel that it's not working that well anymore, you don't have to keep on doing it for the sake of the exercise, because I told you this is a technique. So if you feel it doesn't work that well anymore, you switch to something else. So it's always good to have a couple of these tricks up your sleeve, And sometimes it also works if you just let it happen. So you start with something that you know already. Okay, I'm going to focus on this. And then after like whatever, a minute, 2 minutes, it doesn't really work anymore. Instead of consciously switching to something else that you choose, just let your mind decide for itself. Sometimes you can spend a lot of time figuring out what you want to focus on, which is a visualization by itself. If you let your mind figure out what it wants to think about, that might take a whole minute or 2 minutes.
Go with it.
Yeah, just go with it. You don't have to control everything. You control something. If it works, perfect. If it's taking you too much energy to stay in that place, you let it go. So you can jump into a movie, get out of it, and jump into another movie and get out of it. And sometimes it's not you who decides what is the movie.
Yeah. What's really mind-blowing for me is thinking that I will start doing this while breathing, not while breath holding. And I've never thought of that before. So thank you.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to try that when I'm just breathing.
Yeah. There is people who like to do very simple things like counting. For me, I don't think I've ever done that. I like things to be a bit interesting, you know, and if you discount, it's just counting. But hey, if it works, it works, you know.
Yeah.
But whatever works. There are these mantras that you can use, these positive affirmations. Usually I use that when things are getting really tough. I once did a video where I had over 100 contractions, and that was pretty tough. So during the contractions, I was just telling myself, you can do this, 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 and just over and over and over again. Like probably I don't know how long, but probably 2 full minutes in contractions, you can do this. This was a fight, you know. This is not visualization anymore. This is not a relaxation phase of the breath hold anymore. This is the last phase when things become more difficult. And I was going for a maximum. This was like a competition, and I was already stressed because of the competition. So I was just telling myself, this is a fight. So let's just do this.
Yeah.
So that's a different kind of
mental
mind trick that you're using. We do not consider this as a relaxation technique anymore. There was no relaxation in that. But you can use those positive affirmations, you know.
Yeah.
You talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Even if while you're talking to yourself, you hear yourself talking like from a third person. This is possible. You can talk to yourself, and at the same time, you see yourself over there, like in a movie, like you're watching that movie and you see yourself talking to you, and it's funny, and you start laughing. That's okay. That's okay, you know. It's better to laugh than to be sad about something. So
yeah,
this is a super interesting in static apnea. You go over a movie so many times, and it's an interesting mind game.
Yeah.
Who would say that static apnea is boring, right? You have to make it fun.
When I did this training, I thought that it was on a pool, and I thought it was like the thing I would like the less.
The least.
The static apnea, but I really love it.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
What's your time now? Your static.
I did just once. It was 3 minutes 5 seconds.
Okay, that's cool. That's awesome. Do you have any idea when your contractions start? Did someone time this?
Yeah, I think it was like 2 minutes 20 seconds, if I remember well.
2:20. That's good. And you did. So you had like 45 seconds in contractions.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, something like that.
That's cool. That's cool. So there's we're jumping already into advanced breath holding now. There's 2 ways to extend your breath hold. 2 approaches actually. You can say, I'm going to extend the relaxation phase. So I want this no contraction phase to be longer. Or you can say, I want the contractions phase to be longer. If you say, I want the contractions phase to be longer, you just got to fight more. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You just got to fight more. If you want the no contractions phase to be longer, then your breath hold is going to be more enjoyable. You're going to be able to do more breath holds because you're not fighting. It's just relax. And the way to do this is to do multiple breath holds until the first contraction.
Yeah. I do this exercise all the time, and I learned it from your channel.
Yeah. So not all breath holds need to be done to a maximum. In other sports, if you're a marathon runner, you're not running marathons every day. If you're a power lifter, you're not lifting your heaviest weight every day. That's impossible. Too much stress on the body, the central nervous system. So most of the time, people train with sub-maximal performance. So if you do a breath hold until the first contraction, it's gonna be easy, and you can do many of them. And by doing this, you're going to extend the no contractions phase because you're gonna get better at it.
Yeah.
You're gonna get better at extending that phase, better in visualizing, better in relaxing, and you're also gonna train your CO2 tolerance. You don't have to go into high contractions to train CO2. You can also do this without contractions. So that would be my recommendation, to prolong the no contractions phase and only do once in a while a maximum breath hold, unless you enjoy it, you know, unless you like hard contractions. But don't do too much of them, because you'll need recovery. And if you do this too much, eventually you will lose motivation and you will get tired and
Demotivated.
Yeah.
And I think the really good thing about this exercise is that you don't associate breath hold with pain.
exactly.
Yeah, that's also mentally.
Yeah, so this is all about positive reaffirmations, right? Creating a positive mindset. So a lot of people have like negativity towards static just because of those contractions. And even before the breath hold starts, they're already anticipating on the contraction. So if you're anticipating on a contraction, of course you can't enjoy this. It's all you think about. But if you know you're only going to do the breath hold until the first contraction, there's nothing to worry about. So you go with all positive emotions, feelings into this breath hold, and then you'll enjoy it. You can better visualize. You can better steer your mind. You will learn more when you're doing it this way.